The film tells the gripping story of Helen, a single mother, her daughter Emily, and her elderly father on a camping trip intended for family bonding following recent difficulties. However, their escape into the wilderness quickly turns into a nightmare. Upon reaching their campsite, they encounter a hostile landowner who angrily informs them that they are trespassing on private property. Although startled by his aggression, they reluctantly comply with his demands to leave, but as they attempt to pack up, their RV becomes stuck in the forest, leaving them stranded as night falls. Tensions escalate under the stress of their predicament. Helen and Emily begin to argue while Helen's father, battling health issues, starts to decline. The following morning, Helen makes the decision to seek assistance, leaving Emily to care for her grandfather. She stumbles upon a secluded house and knocks on the door, hoping to find a phone to call for help. However, she is met with an eerie silence. Cautiously entering the home, she realizes something is terribly amiss when she hears strange noises coming from the basement. Inside the house, Helen encounters Andrew, a disturbed man who reveals he was locked away for years by his abusive mother. He speaks of his missing sister Natalie, whom he believes is still trapped somewhere in the house. As Helen delves deeper into the unsettling reality, she discovers the horrifying truth. The house is owned by a deranged couple who have been kidnapping and holding people captive for decades. Meanwhile, at the campsite, the landowner returns and interrogates Emily about her mother's whereabouts. Realizing the imminent danger, Emily attempts to buy time, but her grandfather's declining health complicates their escape. Helen, now acutely aware of the peril surrounding her, tries to flee the house, but she finds herself trapped by the twisted couple. After a fierce struggle, Helen manages to escape and reunite with Emily, yet the sinister family continues their pursuit. As the climax unfolds, Helen, Emily, and Andrew unite in a desperate fight for survival. Tragedy strikes when Helen's father succumbs to his injuries, forcing Helen to make the agonizing choice to send Emily away for her safety while confronting their captors. A tense showdown ensues, culminating in a brutal fight for freedom. As Helen and Emily finally escape the clutches of their tormentors, Andrew chooses to remain behind, dedicated to finding his sister Natalie. Exhausted and traumatized, Helen and Emily drive away, realizing they narrowly survived the horrors lurking in the forest. The film culminates in a haunting conclusion, implying that the horror they thought they had escaped might still linger. The narrative centers on Helen, a single mother who embarks on a camping expedition into the heart of the forest with her teenage daughter Emily and her elderly father. Helen aims to strengthen their family bond, particularly after facing financial hardships and personal challenges. However, Emily is less than thrilled about the trip, expressing frustration over being disconnected from modern comforts. Her grandfather, in contrast, remains supportive and optimistic, assuring them that nature will provide a much-needed reprieve. As they commence their camping experience, the underlying tension between Helen and Emily becomes apparent during the setup of their campsite. Emily's reluctance to engage in outdoor activities heightens their conflict. Soon after they settle in, an uninvited guest, the rugged man with a rifle, approaches and sternly informs them they are trespassing on private property. Despite Helen's attempts to explain their presence, the man is unyielding, compelling her to agree to leave. Emily protests, demonstrating her annoyance over the entire situation. As they prepare to vacate the area, they find their RV stuck in the muddy ground, a source of increasing frustration, particularly when Helen's father injures himself while trying to assist. With his injury serious, Helen recognizes the urgency of finding help. Night descends and Helen faces a tough choice. She leaves Emily with her grandfather while she ventures into the dense forest to seek assistance. While navigating through the unfamiliar wilderness, she stumbles upon a seemingly abandoned house. Driven by desperation, Helen knocks on the door, calling for aid. Although the house appears deserted, she hears faint noises within. As she cautiously explores deeper, she discovers disturbing remnants of a life lived there, including unsettling photographs and a locked basement. A sudden sound startles her, leading to the shocking discovery of a young man named Andrew who has been hidden away in the shadows. Andrew, appearing emaciated and terrified, reveals that he has been a captive for years at the hands of his cruel mother and stepfather and pleads for help. He discloses that his sister Natalie is also imprisoned somewhere inside the house. Horrified yet compelled to act, Helen vows to assist Andrew, but understands she must tread carefully in this precarious situation. The atmosphere transforms into a tense thriller as she navigates the unsettling environment, foreshadowing a deeper and more terrifying reality than she had anticipated. At the campsite, Emily's anxiety mounts as her grandfather's health deteriorates. The landowner unexpectedly returns, wanting to know Helen's whereabouts. Emily, attempting to mask her fear, diverts his attention by rushing to her grandfather. Inside the house, Helen seeks an escape but is caught by Andrew's mother, who perceives her as a threat. The stern woman interrogates Helen, coldly inquiring if she has confided in anyone regarding the house. Desperate for assistance, Helen insists she only came seeking help, but the woman refuses to let her go. Observing in horror, Andrew watches as his mother threatens Helen with a knife. In a moment of desperation, Helen fights back, injuring the woman before fleeing. As Helen sprints through the forest, her adrenaline surges while she navigates her way back to the campsite. However, she soon realizes she is being hunted by the landowner and Andrew's stepfather, who use their familiarity with the woods to pursue her. In a tense escape, she manages to evade capture, temporarily collapsing behind a fallen tree to catch her breath. Back at the campsite, Emily, now in a state of panic, weighs the idea of leaving to find her mother but feels compelled to stay with her grandfather. Just then, Helen stumbles into the camp, breathless and injured. Although relieved to see each other, their moment of respite is quickly interrupted by the landowner's arrival, who raises suspicions. Helen urges Emily to remain calm as they attempt to navigate the delicate situation. A violent altercation breaks out when the landowner makes it clear that he intends to prevent their escape. Despite her exhaustion, Helen fights back with determination, managing to secure a weapon and subjugate him, but not without taking further injuries in the process. Aware of the urgent need to flee, Emily helps her mother load her grandfather into the RV. However, they are met with despair when they discover that the vehicle's engine has been sabotaged. Left with no option but to escape on foot, they hastily gather what they can and sprint into the forest, which transforms from a tranquil retreat into a disorienting maze of danger. Every noise and flicker of movement heightens their fear as they decide to head back toward the house, hoping to find a working phone to call for help. The ever-looming threat, combined with the urgency of their plight, propels them deeper into the perilous forest, where their survival hangs in the balance. Andrew sits grimly grappling with the painful truth of his sister's fate. The harrowing events of the day weigh heavily on them all as they make their escape, the fleeting sense of safety overshadowed by the trauma they've faced. While driving, Helen's mind races with thoughts of their near capture and the terror of not knowing if they're truly safe. She glances at Emily, who looks lost in thought, the reality of their ordeal apparent on her young face. They can't shake the feeling that danger might still be lurking just around the corner, and the dread of being caught again looms over them. Helen and Emily share a silent moment of connection, a testament to the bond that has deepened through their shared struggle. Helen vows to protect her daughter at all costs and to find a way to help Andrew heal from his emotional wounds. They both recognize how critical it is to reach safety and remove themselves from the trauma of the past. As they drive farther away from the house that had become a prison, memories of Natalie resurface in Andrew's mind. Despite the pain, he clings to hope that they can still find her, even though the stark reality paints a different picture. Helen, understanding Andrew's turmoil, promises to help him seek answers regardless of the outcome. Despite their grief, they renew their focus on survival. The road stretches ahead, the sun setting in the distance, casting a mysterious glow on the horizon. In the midst of the turbulence, they realize that their journey isn't just about escaping their captors, but also about confronting the unresolved trauma. They are not just fleeing, they are also seeking a new beginning, one where they can reclaim their lives from the shadows of fear and despair. Suddenly, Emily breaks the silence, her voice barely above a whisper, as she asks her mother if they will ever be truly free. Helen, with a determined glance at her daughter, assures her that freedom is not just about distance, it's about fighting to reclaim their lives and continue forward with hope. They are determined to find solace, healing, and the courage to face whatever lies ahead. As the night deepens, their bond solidifies through the shared pain, evolving into a strength that will carry them through future challenges. The journey is far from over, but they push ahead, ready to confront both the ghosts of their past and the possibilities of healing and hope that await them on the horizon. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.